Good morning friends. Let me do another section of the continuation of Parkinsonism. In the first class we were doing about what is Parkinsonism, what are the different reasons and what are the symptoms related to the Parkinsonism. And now I am depicting you here with a small diagram of the dopaminergic neuron because there is lesser submission of neurotransmitter called as dopamine. And as actually here we are indicating two types of neurons over here. One is called as dopaminergic neurons, where it is submitting the dopamine into the synaptic vesicles. Let me do it with another color so that you will understand the word. These are called as synaptic vesicles, which is having DOPA inside it, and this DOPA has to be submitted onto the GABAergic neurons for their control of inhibition. Here it is submitting onto the GABAergic neurons. We know that there are two types of GABAergic neurons which are present onto the sites of GABA, and we know that it is called GABA A and GABA B. Actually it is not so related now, so I am not going to that particular area. So what is the function of DA? That means the dopamine. The dopaminergic neurons has to be submitted their neurotransmitters onto the GABAergic neurons in order to control their ability of inhibition. If at all the GABA is doing lesser inhibition, it has to make up into little bit razor. If at all it is doing more inhibition, it has to be lesser. If at all the inhibition is lesser, the GABA has to be make it more increase. So the dopamine is very important neurotransmitter to control your GABA neurotransmission. Nothing but it is always maintaining your GABA inhibition. Nothing but IPSP. So in order to function IPSP in a particular rightly manner, the dopamine is very important. And as I said that the Parkinsonism is not available for the dopamine, and the dopamine is increased in lesser neurotransmitters, so the work of GABA will be collapsed. So once the collapse of GABA inhibition has been collapsed, we can see that there is an increase of EPSP. Nothing but excitation is more and more. So the GABA is much more important. And why this dopamine is not able to submit on the GABA? There is maybe a neurodegenerative disorder. As I said, the collapse of the neurons may be happen, the collapse of the nerves may happen, the collapse of axonal system may happen, and also the metabolism of DOPA will also be cancelled. That means if there is any differences in the metabolism of dopamine, we get the functioning of dopamine neurotransmitter into various disorders. So we can see that why the dopamine is not able to submit much more amount onto the GABAergic neurons. There are three main reasons. As I said, it is a collapse of the neurons, or it is with the collapse of the axons, or it is a collapse of the synaptic vesicles, or it may be the collapse of the metabolism of the dopamine, what it is doing. So if at all these four reasons may happen, the submission of the dopamine may not be done onto the GABAergic neurons, and the GABAergic neurons may try to collapse. When it starts try to collapse its inhibition, it started its excitation more and more. So the dopamine is very important. And here if you want to see why the metabolism has been disturbed and what is the synthesis of dopamine, that dopamine synthesis will be done in two places. I'm just erasing you the diagram here. I'm using the symptoms so that you can understand more and more. So as I said, this dopamine neurotransmitter will be done in two places, or will be done in two processes. One is through brain and other one is through periphery. I am indicating periphery in black, I am indicating brain in blue. Okay. Now we'll see how the dopamine is being synthesized in the brain and how it is synthesized in the periphery. And here I am indicating you the three words over here. I think if you are focused over here. And here the synthesis is done by a word called as 3-OMD. So what it stands for? It stands for 3-O-methyl dextrose. So this methyl dextrose is very important for the synthesis of dopa. So once it is converting itself into levodopa, and levodopa is one of the more component which is crossing the brain barrier. One thing we need to remember that whenever the dopamine is being synthesized in the periphery area, it cannot be taken or it cannot cross your blood-brain barrier. It stays in the periphery. But if at all we want to transmit the peripheral dopamine into the brain transmitters, it has to cross your blood-brain barrier. That means it has to take another compound. So we have a word called as levodopa over here. What is levodopa? Levodopa is called as precursor of dopamine, and levodopa is very useful (3-OMD), which is converted into levodopa, and levodopa is converted into dopamine, and dopamine is being metabolized by COMT into DDC. So this is a pathway of periphery, how the dopamine is being synthesized and metabolized, and this is a pathway which is indicated in the brain. So whatever the compound is, that is the same compound in both periphery and brain, but there is a little bit only transaction between the periphery and the brain part. Here if you see from the brain part, it is developed from 3-OMD, and this 3-OMD is converted into levodopa, and this levodopa is converted into dopamine. As I said before, levodopa is a precursor of dopamine. Only this is the one which crosses your blood-brain barrier. And here also if you see the 3-OMD and levodopa and dopamine. Now in order to control your levodopa, which has to cross your blood-brain barrier, the dopamine cannot cross. So what happens? Only the levodopa can be transmitted from this place to this place. That means crossing your BBB. Nothing but blood-brain barrier. So the dopamine which has been synthesized cannot be taken to the brain for the particular neurotransmitter intake, but only the levodopa can cross. So what happens? Sometimes the levodopa which is prepared in the periphery part will be taken back by the brain through the blood-brain barrier, where it is submitted in the place of levodopa, and levodopa is converting into dopamine, and the dopamine is being metabolized with two compounds over here. I think you remember these two words in your cholinergic, anticholinergic drugs, where COMT, catecholamines. This COMT and MOA can be seen over there, and you know that the process of dopamine is just the before of your synthesis of catecholamines. So here this is indicated in the word 3-OMD, levodopa, dopamine, which is being metabolized. Here I am indicating by a word called metabolysis. Metabolized. How it is metabolized? The dopamine is metabolized by COMT, nothing but catecholamine O-methyl transferase, which is converting itself into 3-MT, and here the 3-MT is indicated by called as 3-methyl tyramine, and also this dopamine is being metabolized by MAOA, and nothing but monoamino oxidase A, which is converting itself into 3,4-dopac, and this 3,4-dopac is one of the component which is used over here. So we can see that the synthesis of dopamine in the brain is done within 4 steps. One is 3-OMD, levodopa, dopamine, which is metabolized into it is metabolized by 2 enzymes called as COMT, catecholamine O-methyl transferase, monoamino oxidase A. With these 3 COMT in converting itself into 3-MT, which is called as 3-methyl tyramine, and MOAO is converting itself into dopac. It's called as 3,4-dopac, 3,4-dopamine phenyl acetic acid. So these 3,4-dopamine is two are the two components how these metabolized. And now we can see that the metabolic compounds, that means the methyl transferase and 3,4-dopamine are being used for the reuptake of dopamine once again back to the synaptic vesicles. As I said, the metabolism is being degraded in the dopamine so that the dopamine is not available for the reuptake into the presynaptic vesicles. So in order to get more and more dopamine into your GABAergic neurons, the metabolism has to be reduced. So if at all the metabolism has been reduced, we can submit more and more dopamine onto the GABAergic neurons. So this is one of the other way how the brain has been synthesized. It's dopamine activity or dopamine neurotransmitter. Now we'll see what happens in the periphery place. In the periphery place, nothing but the spinal caudal place. The spinal caudal place, it is done by 3-OMD, once again the same compound, and the levodopa is the same compound, and the levodopa from here is been submitted into the brain by crossing your blood-brain barrier. It is called as precursor of dopamine, and here the dopamine is being released from the levodopa, and here in the periphery it is only metabolized by COMT, but it is not metabolized by MAOB. This COMT, we know that catecholin O-methyl transferase, it is converting itself into DTC. So this is called as the synthesis of dopamine synthesis. So what we need to do, we need to, because there is a lesser of dopamine inside for the causes of Parkinsonism, the dopamine should be increased by the drugs. So how we can be increased by the drugs? So the synthesis can be increased so that more and more dopamine is prepared. And not only the dopamine is more and more prepared, but the metabolism has to be decreased so that more and more dopamine will be available for the GABAergic neurons. Here also the same technique runs over here. The increase of blood-brain barriers, the increase of dopamine has to be increased. So by developing these three more, we can increase the synthesis of dopamine, or otherwise we can decrease the metabolism of COMT, or the metabolism of 3-MT, or the metabolism of 3-O-DOPAC can be reduced so that more and more dopamine will be available, and that dopamine will be submitted onto the GABAergic neurons. So there are different types of drugs which can be used for the increase of dopamine. And here I want to highlight one more point. I told you that this dopamine is done, it is decreased by dopamine and increased by ACH. So these are the two main causes, and what we need to do that in order to do this Parkinsonism agonist, we can do two methods. So one is to increase your dopamine or decrease your ACH. So whatever the work may be done, the work is the same. So what happens, some type of drugs are used to increase your dopamine, and some drugs which are used against the acetylcholine decrease, they are called as anti-acetylcholine or anticholinergics. So anticholinergics can be done, or dopamine antagonist can be used. Why? Because it has to do the favor of increasing. So there are two steps in doing the dopamine facility for the treatment of Parkinsonism. So what it is, the two main treatments are whether to increase your dopamine or whether to decrease your ACH. Why? Because the Parkinsonism is done by decreased dopamine and increased ACH. So these are the symptoms and these are the corrections done by the drugs usage. The drugs which has to be decreased over here are called as anticholinergics, and the drug dopamine agonist can be called as dopamine agonist. So the drugs what we are using are trying to increase this. So we can develop this DA agonist or by doing or acting on COMA inhibitors. So the COMA inhibitors also can be used, or MAO can be inhibitors can also be used. So the categorizations can be COMT inhibitors. Why? Because once the COMT are inhibited, the dopamine levels are increased over here. Why? Because it is reducing your metabolism over there. And also we can categorize them as MAOA inhibitors. Why? Because MAO is also being used for the metabolism of dopamine and converting itself into 3,4-dopac. So this also has to be reduced so that more and more dopamine will be available over here and the metabolism has been reduced and the reuptake has to be reduced. So the MAO inhibitors also can be your next category. And as I have before indicated, the DA agonists are also one of the category. Why? Because DA agonists are nothing but increasing your dopamine levels. And also, as I said here, the anticholinergics. Why? Because it has to reduce the actions of ACH. Why? Because there is increase of ACH. So the anticholinergics can also be used. So by seeing the diagram itself and by seeing the pathway itself, we can know what type of drugs can be indicated over here. So this was the cycle of synthesis of dopamine, how it has been taken from the periphery and how it is done in your brain part. So coming to the main topic now, what is called anti-Parkinsonism. So anti-Parkinsonism drugs are the pharmacological agents which are used to decrease ACH or to increase DA by decreasing the metabolic activities done by COMT and MAO, so that the reuptake of metabolism is being reduced for the facilitating of dopamine onto the GABAergic neurons. So this can be the definition of anti-Parkinsonism. So once again I am just repeating for you. Anti-Parkinsonisms are the pharmacological agents which are used to decrease acetylcholine neurotransmitter or to increase dopamine neurotransmitter.